Good morning, everyone. It's Karen Whooley, and welcome to Live Wednesday. I'm so excited to be here. I can't believe we're so close to the end of the month. Usually, this is the fourth weekend, or the fourth Wednesday, I should say, of the month, and we actually have five this year. But because I do it on the fourth, we won't be doing anything next week. However, we will have an interview on April 5th. So be watching for that. I'm going to go into the chat room and see who's all here. I have Linda. Good morning, Linda. Good to see you. And Daisy as well. And Renee, good morning, good morning. And Ellie, good morning. You changed your handle. That's awesome. Cinco Farms, I have to check and see if I'm following you. Remind me after Easter. Right now, I cannot get on Instagram because I have it blocked. So that's my Lenten penance for the year. So I am not going on Instagram or Facebook, even though I am posting scheduled posts. So I just post them, and I know there's comments out there, and I have not been able to answer them. Good morning, Charlene. I'm so glad you're here. It's been a little bit since you've been here. I'm glad to see that you're here. Okay, so that's everybody in the chat right now. I know there's a few more people coming, so I'm just going to take that off for now. Oh, there we go. I knew there was somebody else. Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning. Okay, Ellie, I think we have chatted there. Yes. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I am working on getting ready for Interweave Yarn Fest in Loveland, Colorado next month. I will be teaching classes the 12th through the 15th of April. If you haven't checked it out and think it might be something you'd like to go see, make sure you go to interweave.com/yarnfest and click on Loveland. My nose has been to the grindstone all week already for that. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew about it if you are local or would be willing to go to Loveland, Colorado to take some classes. There's still room in all of my classes. A few of them are getting fuller, though. I think there's 2 that have less than 10 spots left. I can't remember how many. I want to say 1 has 8 and 1 has 7. So if you are interested in going, there's still a chance to sign up. They have a great vendor market this year too. So make sure you check that out as well. Judy just popped in. Good morning, Judy. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so I am doing a giveaway. This week I am giving away my new pattern, Glacier. So if you are interested in winning this pattern, I am giving this one away. The only person or people who are not available, I'm going to go back 2 months since this is from starting this year, so that the only people who are not able to win this is Charlene, because you won in January, and Francis, you won in February. So I want to make sure that you guys know you are ineligible to win. Good morning, Deborah. Good to see you. So glad you're here. This is Glacier. It's made with a sock set of yarn. A sock set is a full hank of fingering weight yarn with a mini hank of a contrasting color. This one was actually from a set that was a mystery kit for Nanette Wake Studio. This colorway right now is not available, but I don't know if she'll ever put it in her regular roundup, but this is a great colorway. But you can use any sock set, and I'll be showing you a sock set later, so hang on. But if you're interested to win, I'm going to put this on the screen right now. You are going to type in #Glacier. So if you're interested in winning that one, make sure you type in #Glacier. And I'll put that back up again later, but I'll leave it here for just a second. Okay, I'm going to take that off screen. Hello, Sharon. I saw you popped in. Good morning. Thank you, Charlene. It is a pretty shawl. I really love the yarn, especially. The yarn really spoke to me on this one. Okay, so let's talk about, let's start with our topic today. And this one's for Judy. Judy said that she has a hard time doing Tunisian because she is a pencil holder rather than a knife holder, and she wanted to know how to work with Tunisian without having to switch to a knife hold. Now, one thing I'm going to say before I get started is if you have any questions as I'm working on this, I'm not going to look at the comments until after I do this. So if you have a question, make sure you type a Q, a space, and then your question. And then when I can come back from doing the video on screen, I will answer your questions. Okay, so I'm going to put my second camera on here really quick. And I'm going to grab my yarn here. Okay, so I have a second camera in here. Now, I have started a little bit of Tunisian here just because it's easier for me to demonstrate Tunisian when I have a little bit on the hook. Now, one thing I'm going to recommend for everyone who does Tunisian or just crochets in general, I'm going to recommend that you learn to do both the pencil hold and the knife hold. And the reason I recommend learning to do both, you'll always be slower with one rather than the other. But the reason I recommend you learn to do both is because it helps save your wrists. Okay, I have carpal tunnel from a very mild carpal tunnel, but I do have carpal tunnel from when I was working full-time before I had kids. It was from doing all the keyboarding because I was writing software and troubleshooting and all sorts of stuff. It's very mild. It doesn't bother me as much anymore. It used to bother me a lot when I first retired from working full-time and was crocheting more. And I learned from my grandmother. My grandmother taught me to do the pencil hold. And but I naturally gravitated toward the knife hold. So I can learn to go back and forth. And by being able to go back and forth between these two, I can actually crochet longer and I reduce the repetitive stress in my wrist. So there's also a third way of holding your hook that I just learned about called the chopstick. And that's like how you hold the two chopsticks. So your middle finger is on the hook. So you can also try that. I have yet to successfully crochet that way. I tend to crochet like this. So that's one little tip for you on learning to crochet. Now, when I crochet Tunisian, I'm always in the knife hold just because that's natural for me, but I do switch back and forth. Now, with the pencil hold is not hard to do with Tunisian. You just have to know that there's things that you maybe don't naturally do with standard crochet that you can do with Tunisian in the pencil hold. So with the pencil hold, you are going to hold a little farther back on the hook. That's the first thing, a little farther back. And you can just go in. Now I am slow pencil hold so with Tunisian, so bear with me. So you just do the Tunisian stitches the way you normally do. But then there's going to be a point where you have a lot of stitches in front of your fingers. It's okay to put your fingers on top of that fabric and start working the stitches. You'll notice here, now that I've gotten a little closer to the front of my hook, I'm a little faster. Okay, so I'm going to do this, get to the end of the row. I have 20 stitches here. So that's how I do it. I do every few stitches, I come back and I do more. And let's see, there's that. We're getting to the end. We're almost there. Make sure I'm looking at the screen and not at my hands. So I got to look at my hands here for a sec. Okay, there we go. And this technique works with both the interchangeables, which is what I'm using right here, which is basically a circular um, um, cable with with an end on it, or actual straight Tunisian hooks that aren't adjustable. Okay, oops, I went back to my normal here. Okay, so yeah, I'm at the end of the row now. Okay, so I've got all my stitches on my Tunisian hook and cable. Okay, so now what you want to do to come back is to squish as many stitches as you can close to the end of the hook. You don't have to do them all. You don't have to do them all because that gets a little, especially as it gets bigger, that gets a little floppy. But I do, maybe a few, and then you just take them off normally. Now, there will be a point, got to get the tail out of the way. There will be a point where you feel like you're stretching, and I want to get to that point. Here we go. See how it feels like I can't get through that second loop? That's when you stop for a second, push more loops closer to the hook. And there's nothing holding you back from putting your fingers on the stitches. You can hold them. You can you can shove even more than that if you want to, if it's not too bulky for you, and just keep working. Now I'm trying to. Oh, did I do that right? Oh, one more. There we go. That's why. Okay. See, I am not all that comfortable doing Tunisian this way. I will do it when I need to, but I don't do Tunisian enough to do this all the time. But there is no reason why anybody can't do Tunisian with a pencil hold. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to do a few stitches here again. So pick up. This yarn is not ideal for these hooks. It doesn't slide real well. So, especially when you're first getting started. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to pretend I'm at the end now. And same thing, just take them off, holding however you need to. It's going to take practice, and you're probably, if you're a pencil holder, it's probably going to be slower for you at first, but it can be done. And you just have to remember there's no reason why you can't put your hand on top of the stitches. It may affect your gauge at first, but what I would do is start with squares and just practice. One of the things I'm going to do next year, it's not this year, but next year, if you are part of the crochet crew, it will be free to you. But if you are not a part of the crochet crew, there will be a charge for it. I'm going to do a Tunisian class that is a month learns Tunisian stitches, and they're going to be blocks. So, and at the end, you're going to use your blocks to make a pillow. So that's a good way to learn if you are looking forward to that. I'm sorry, Crochet Crew is not getting it for free. It's not a pattern. The Crochet Crew gets a substantial discount on it. I'm sorry. So anyway, you will be able to do that crochet along with us. It's going to be a full year. It's full 12 months. It'll probably start, well, it depends on, because I'm doing another one as well on regular stitches. And I think I'm going to start that one this year. And then when that one ends, we'll start the Tunisian one. But in either case, whichever one I decide to do first, that's a good way to learn how to use your pencil grip with Tunisian stitches. Okay, I'm going to come back on screen here really fast. There we go. And I'm going to I saw there's some comments already. There we go. Joanne is here. Good morning. She ordered some compression gloves and elbow sleeves on Amazon. Yes, that helps too. I have a set of compression gloves, and I actually have a compression glove that supports my thumb because I do have arthritis in this thumb. So compression gloves will help when I have a lot of pain. There you go. I'm going to practice the pencil hold. If I can hit Continental and American, I think I should be able to do this. Yes, you can. You can definitely do that. So, and good morning. Hi, Jess. I'm so glad you're here. It's good to see you here. And Deborah has her glacier in there. Okay, so Sharon has, I've done a little Tunisian and find that my right edge is looser than my left side. Any tips to fix that? Yes. Are you right-handed, first of all, Sharon? Just let me know yes or no in the comments really quick, because that'll help me answer that question. I'm just waiting here for her answer to come up. Usually, because my right side does that too. Okay, so if you're right-handed, and this is true with left-handed, because a lot of left-handed people will have the left edge too loose. And the most important thing, no matter how you hold your hook, I'm going to put my hands back on really quick here. Hang on. Okay, so the most important thing about keeping this side tight is to make sure that before you even pick up the first loop, that this loop is the size it needs to be. And then what I do, because I'm a knife holder, I tend to do it this way by putting my finger on top. If I'm doing pencil, I'll put my thumb on top of it if I can. If there's enough space, and I'll hold it. See, for me, I can't do it with my thumb. But when I pick up the first stitch, I make sure that these two loops are the same size. And oops, I keep hitting my camera. Sorry, guys. If this is bigger than that one, then I will take that loop off and I'll tighten it up, and then I will pick up that stitch again. Does that make sense? So yeah, if you're a knife holder, I just saw Sharon pop that in. If you're a knife holder, put your finger on it before you go in, and that will keep it from stretching too far out. And the same thing happens at the other end too. Sometimes some people, because when you do that last stitch, I'm going to pull this one up really quick. I'm going to have a weird look here. But a lot of people, when they yarn over and pull through just that first one, they keep this loop too big. So you want to just make sure that when you've got all your stitches on your hook, they're all the same height. And as a beginner, you're going to find yourself ripping out even half of your stitches before you take them off if you want to keep things even. But as you get more experience with Tunisian, you will get more comfortable with keeping all the loops as even as possible. And if you're making a blanket that's all Tunisian all the way across, and you have a really long cable, you'll find that sometimes you will have a couple that are loose here and there. That's okay. Usually when you pull through things, fix that, but not always. Does that make sense? Does that help, Sharon? Okay. Deborah says, I've never tried Tunisian, but I have 2 sets of hooks, so I'm going to try now. Awesome. Awesome. I definitely think you should try. Tunisian is not that hard. I know it's intimidating to a lot of people. I'm going to put myself back on the screen here. I know it's intimidating to a lot of people, but it's really not that hard. And it's when you get into the more advanced stitches that gets a little more difficult. One of the things I'm planning to do for in the future is to do an on-demand class on Tunisian, and an on-demand class on what I call crochet in the double. It's a 2-ended Tunisian hook, and teach how to do that as well. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you're subscribed to my newsletter for that. Okay, I'm glad that makes sense, Sharon. Glad that, okay. And starting with a washcloth, yes, absolutely. A washcloth, a square, anything. So that's super important, yes. And something that's small. I mean, when I first learned Tunisian, my grandmother had me do 10 stitches across. And all I learned was the knit stitch, or the regular, not knit stitch, the simple stitch. And I just did a strip of 10 stitches across. And I don't even remember what I did with that. Probably was like a tie for my teddy bear or something. But that's how I started. It was just a few stitches just to get the idea. And then moving forward, did more. Kelly, good morning. I just saw you pop in. Good morning. Good to see you. Anybody else have any questions? Judy, especially since you were the one that had the big question on this one. Anybody have questions on holding your hook? I will be glad to do more demo if we need to. There we go. Put my, anybody else? How many of you guys are knife holders? How many of you are pencil holders? I'm curious now that people are popping in. Sharon says, I made dishcloths first. I was too dense tight. Yes. The second cloth was better. Yes. That's another thing with Tunisian is a lot of people, especially, well, this is true with any crochet that I find when I'm teaching classes, especially when you're trying something new, you tend to tighten things up. And when you don't tighten things up, make sure you guys, I saw a lot of people posting. Can you make sure that if you have a question, you type the Q first so that I know where the questions are? Everybody's just popping in all really fast. Okay, so you made dishcloths. So when you're learning crochet, you tend to tighten up no matter what it is. You can be as experienced, as I am. I'm almost 50 years. Next year will be 50 years that I've been crocheting. And whenever I learn something new, I tighten up. And then as I get relaxed and realize I'm doing, I've got the idea, I'll loosen up. A lot of times using a larger hook is perfect to get through that part, especially when you're doing washcloths. I mean, you're with washcloths, you're usually using cotton anyway. And if you have a few extra holes that are too big, you can shrink those down. So that's not a big deal. So I think that's awesome that you do that. But just practice. Practice is what's going to make things better. Okay. So I know I saw another question up there. Hang on. You guys are so good at this. Okay. Deborah said hook size for yarn weight. For washcloths, if you're thinking about washcloths, I would use like sugar and cream or the kitchen cotton from We Crochet or whatever that worsted weight cotton is, 100% cotton. And I would use an I or a J crochet hook. I'm using worsted weight right here. This is just regular Red Heart that I use for samples and stuff. And I'm using a J hook because I really wanted you to see what I was doing. And I picked white on purpose because I wanted you to see what was going on the hook and not so much what was the fabric was looking like. But that's what I would do. I would start there. And I would start with a J maybe and worsted weight yarn. And then if you find that's too loose for you, then drop down. If you're still too tight, go up to a K. That's kind of how it all works. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Pencil. All right. We've got a lot of knife holders. I just noticed a lot of knife. So Stephanie's pencil. Judy is a pencil. I know she's a pencil holder. I'm going to answer your question in just a second, Judy. Hang on. Okay, so we've got 2 pencil holders that I can see, and everybody else isn't 3 pencil holders because Renee's a pencil holder as well. And everybody else is a knife. Okay, so pencil has lost a lot of people. I don't know why. I think it's because a lot of people tend to be faster. And I know that's, my grandfather even made a comment, how much faster I am when I hold the hook the way I want to hold it versus the way my grandmother taught me how to hold it. So, but you've got to do what's comfortable for you. I highly, 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 highly recommend that you learn both ways. That will protect your wrist. Now, Judy has a little bit different. Okay, so I'm going to try it on the screen. I hold, okay, my hook rests in the spot between my thumb and index finger. So are you talking like this? Or are you talking like this? Is that what you're talking? Judy, does that, tell me if I'm getting close. You want to make asymmetrical shawls. Okay. So Judy, let me know if I'm holding it the way you hold it. So you're doing as a just truly, well, most people, yeah. This is a pencil. It sits in the crotch. So you're saying it sits like this right here. Is that kind of what you're talking about, Judy? It sits right like that. So you're like this. Judy, am I doing it right as far as you are? Because if you're holding it like this, where it's against this right here, and your fingers are long like this, you're going to, in order to be able to do Tunisian, you are going to have to get this part of your hook out of your hand. And you need to have it this way. Now you're going to find that if you're making a blanket or you're making something that's really long, like a shawl, you are going to have to either learn to do something like this or figure out another way where you can get the fabric through this part of your hand. As it gets bigger, it's going to get harder. And that's why a lot of people switch to the knife hold at a certain point in Tunisian. I really, 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 really recommend that you learn the knife hold. If you want to do Tunisian, you're going to have to be able to do both, especially if you tend to keep everything stretched out on your, close to your hand. Because technically, this is bad form. This is going to cause issues with pain and joint aches if you do this for long periods of time. And pressing on your skin, you can actually get hot spots. So, I mean, this is why most people either use the pencil like this or the chopstick where they have this finger used, in the middle, or we do knife hold. If this is most comfortable for you for standard crochet, then do this. But for Tunisian, you're going to have to pop this up. This is just going to have to pop up, if that makes sense. I know it's awkward, Judy, and that's why I'm saying practice, practice, practice. You just have to convince yourself. I'm going to put this up here. Convince yourself that you're going to make a small square, maybe a 5-inch square of Tunisian simple stitch, and every stitch is done as the knife hold. And if it takes you 2 weeks to make that square, it takes you 2 weeks. But by consistently doing it and getting over the awkwardness, you will find that it's going to be much better for you. Okay, if you have no issues, then you're great. But with Tunisian, you're going to end up having issues. So I'm just warning you that you're going to have to adjust your hook. It's so important if you want to continue to learn with crochet, and this is true for everyone. You are going to have to learn how to do different things. I'm going to take this off really quick. You are going to have to learn to hold your hook in different ways. It's the same thing with knitting. I mean, for those of you who are knitters, there's the throwers and there's the pickers. And then there's the Portuguese way of knitting. There's double-stranded. And every knitter learns to use their hands in different ways, especially as they progress through learning different techniques. And that's the same thing that happens with crocheters. You're going to have to learn to use your hook in different ways and hold your hook in different ways, as long as it's not causing you pain. You're going to have awkwardness. I mean, I can tell you that doing the overlay mosaic crochet that I did last year, a little series on, that was the most awkward crochet. Even though I was holding knife hold, it was so awkward for me. And it took me at least 3 hours of just working on it to make it feel like it was flowing. So, I mean, I literally had to just practice before I could even shoot the videos that I did. So that's something you need to remember is you are going to have to learn. I mean, I know a lot of us are set in our ways. I mean, I started doing knife hold long before my grandmother passed away, and she would slap my hand and tell me that proper Italian girls do not crochet knife hold. So I learned that when I was with her, I did pencil hold, and when I was by myself, I did the knife hold. So it's so important for you to, okay. You use a wider hook. Okay, Judy, that would, the furls hooks. Okay, you can't do Tunisian with the furls hooks. That's just not a possibility. They have those wide ends on them. Unless they have come out with a Tunisian set, you cannot use furls. And I haven't been up to date with furls because furls does not work for me. It causes me a lot of pain because they are unbalanced for my hand. I need a balanced hook. So furls is not going to be helpful when it comes to crocheting. So, or not crocheting, for Tunisian crochet. It's so important that you that you learn to use a true Tunisian hook for that. Okay, so I just saw a couple other people here. I learned knife hold, but gravitated to a pencil. Knit as a pencil holder too. That's considered knitting continental. Not necessarily, because I knit continental and I still hold my my needles knife hold. I mean, if you knit this way, it's got nothing to do. Continental is holding your yarn in your left hand. So your right hand does all the work. Your left hand is doing the knit and crochet and moving the yarn where it needs to be. You're just holding your needles a different way. That's not continental. Okay, Lisa, hello. I hope you got my box okay. You just started teaching Tunisian last night. Love this craft. Yep, me too. I love Tunisian, and I want to start doing a little bit more with it. I just haven't had time lately, so I'm glad to hear that. Let's see. I'm a continental knitter, but I do want to learn, I guess it's English, so I can hold color. Yeah, for color work. Yeah, absolutely. You're going to, well, it's not so much English. It's just two-handed color work where you're picking with your left hand and your right hand is throwing. So yeah, for color work. There is also a way to do both colors on your left hand so you can pick both colors. And if you're looking for a way to do that, and for knitters who are interested in doing color work with everything in their left hand as they're knitting the colors, check out Knitty McPurley's podcast. A couple weeks ago, she showed how she does two colors. I think she even did three at one point, if I'm remembering correctly. Color work knitting. So if Knitty McPurley, if you've never heard of her, check her out. She's strictly a knitter, but it's a good way to learn for color work. Let's see, Stephanie. I do sometimes use knife hold just to keep practice. I think it's important. It's important to switch back and forth. Yep, Linda, you're improper too. Oh, my screen, there we go. Or half, that's okay. Yeah. Yeah, Judy, you're just going to have to practice holding them differently. And if you really want to do Tunisian, that's the key. When I do the crochet along for the Tunisian, I highly recommend you joining in with that to work on your Tunisian. I think that would really help. So you hold it in your right hand. So you're a thrower. You are a thrower. Okay. Sharon said, I tried pencil holder for fun, just couldn't make it work. Yeah. Wonderful. I'm glad you got it. I can't wait to share that, what's in that box with everybody. I'm glad you think I have some great tips. Thank you, Lisa. Deborah, so many things to keep learning. That is one. Yep, there are so many things to learn. And the thing about learning too is that sometimes you have to learn to break old habits. And for me, there was a lot of old habits over the years that once my grandmother passed away, I started doing, and because she wasn't there to correct me, and then I've had to correct myself. Like how I know a lot, especially new crocheters, wrap the hook the wrong way. It doesn't matter if they're left or right handed, they wrap the hook incorrectly, and all that stuff. So there's always something to learn, no matter how long you've been crocheting. Okay, I'm going to just really quick here, just go back to our giveaway, because a lot of people have popped in. I'm giving away a free copy of the pattern Glacier. This is my newest pattern, was released on the 14th. I'm giving away a free copy. This is done with a sock set. And if you don't know what a sock set is a full hank of skein, which is what I did the main body of the shawl with, a full hank of fingering weight yarn, and then a mini skein of a contrasting color, which usually around 88 yards of a hank. And this was done for a mystery kit for Nanette Wake Studio. So the colorway as of right now is not available, but you can use any sock set, and I'll show you a sock set here in a minute. But if you're interested in winning a copy of this pattern, I'm going to put it up on the screen here really quick. You're going to type in #Glacier if you're interested in winning a copy. There's only 2 people who are ineligible. One is Charlene, because she won in January, and Francis won in February. So those 2 are ineligible, but everybody else who might want to win a copy of this pattern can do that. And I'm going to take that off the screen now. And we're going to go and do a couple other things. Anybody else have questions about holding a hook, doing Tunisian, that kind of thing, before I move on to what's new in the studio? If there's anybody who's interested, let me know. Okay. And even if you don't, make sure you type the question mark or the Q in front of your question, and then your question, so that I can catch it if you have so many things. But I'm going to do what's new in the studio. I'm going to share my screen again, or share my second camera here again in a second. But last week I did a live interview with Sadie from Rose and Roses, and you guys probably remember seeing this hank of yarn. This was her giveaway for the interview, and I ordered one because I really liked it. And she kept saying that you couldn't really see the color of the pink on her screen when she was showing it to you guys. Well, you can see it here. Look at how bright that is. I fell in love with this on her website, and I knew I was going to order it, but I was going to wait until after my Lenten fast on yarn buying, because I was working on a book. And for those of you who are not part of the Crochet Crew, I'm going to tell you I'm not working on the book. It's a long story. I went in. Oh, I should probably tell you guys, because you guys have all been following along. Last month, at the end of last month, on the 27th, I had my 6-month cancer screening for my bladder cancer post treatments, and I am still cancer free. So I'm very excited about that part. But I am very run down. And a lot of it's got to do with the fact that after my last treatments in May of last year, my daughter started having all the issues all summer long, and I never took the downtime that I needed to relax. And I just you guys know, I missed so many live streams because I was in Spokane with her, taking care of her and all her medical issues with the baby and stuff. So her and the baby both, and her husband. So I never took care of myself, and it's starting to take its effect. So I have been told to not or to take some things off my plate. So one of the things I had to take off my plate was the book because it was causing me stress. So the book is got the patterns that I'm working on for the book will still be released at some point, but not in book format unless I decide later on this year that and the doctor says I'm doing okay, because my next checkup is in August. And if the doctor says I'm still doing okay and I'm doing better as far as the rundownness, then I might pick up the book again and just release it later than I was planning. So we'll see. But anyway, so because I wasn't working on the book, I could order some yarn. So I had to order this because I was afraid it was going to sell out because this was a limited run. But if you're interested in this, you can go to roseandroses.com. It's her house line. She is a yarn shop called Rose and Roses, but this is her house line. And I really like it. I mean, it's 20% nylon, but it's super soft for being 20% nylon. So this is what a sock set looks like. So Glacier was made with something like this. It's a full hank of fingering and then a mini skein of the contrasting color. So I'm thinking I'm going to make socks with this, but there might be something else that comes out of it because it's been, hey, Judy, you're on the crochet crew, so you should already have the copy of the pattern. So you can get it already automatically for free. So just so you know. Okay. So that's the first thing that's new. The second thing is, and my crochet crew people already know this. I have trouble wearing shawls just because of how I'm built. I'm big busted and all of that. And wearing shawls, they don't sit right. They don't feel right. They keep falling off, that kind of thing. So I end up usually wearing them like bandits. Judy, if you're in the crochet crew, go into the section on, there is a link in the crochet crew on how to get the pattern. So because I'm no longer doing it in email, it's only going to be in this crew. And if you can't find it, shoot me a private message and I'll get you there. Anyway, so I can't wear shawls. I wear them bandit style with the ends hanging here and the points or whatever's in the center in front. But everybody's been saying you should try cuffs, shawl cuffs. So I ordered a shawl cuff. This is, I'm gonna bring it closer. This is made out of leather, and it's got a little brad here that you close it with, and the shawl is in here. And I actually joined a local guild here, and they had an orientation last week, and I wore it with one of my shawls. In fact, I used Eastwick, and I wore Eastwick, and I used the shawl cuff. And oh my gosh, it was perfect because I could get the shawl to lay the way I wanted it to. The cuff held it in place. I'm going to go to me now. I had the cuff up here on my shoulder so that the middle part of the shawl was hanging this way, but I had a whole bunch in front. It stayed for the 2 hours of that orientation, even getting in and out of my chair to do the tour of the location because they have a storefront. And this guild is amazing. Someday I'm going to have to tell you guys about it. But this is awesome. It's from Sunrise Grove. And if you ordered my Modern Italian Lace Crochet book, when it was released, the first 50 people got a custom stitch marker that she made. So it's the same person who did those stitch markers. She did this on leather. It's a Celtic knot. I chose Celtic knot because my husband's Irish, and it was actually St. Patrick's Day when I wore this, so that was kind of cool. But I like this Celtic knot. But then she sent along with it 2 stitch markers for free as like a little free gift. So I'm gonna open these up here to go with it. One is a Celtic knot and one is a hank of yarn, and she uses lobster clips, so you can use them for crochet or knit. So these are really cute, aren't they? This is her Sunrise Grove Knittery, sunrisegrove.com. If you're interested in ordering from her, she's got some great stuff. I believe she uses a glow forge to make all her stuff. But she does some amazing stuff, so definitely check her out. So that is That's what's new in the studio. I'm going to take this off the screen again. I'm going to hold this up because I'm only going to show you part of it. I finished, for those of you in the crochet crew, you've seen this, but I finished it last night actually. But I'm working on this little project here. This is going to be for next year. This yarn is actually from a local to me dyer, Palouse Yarn Company. She's out of Moscow, Idaho, which is only less than 2 hours from me. And it's not blocked yet. It will be released next week, but I did finish that pattern. I'll be testing it. So if you guys are interested in testing for me, I should mention this again. I'm always looking for testers. I'm going to put this up on the screen. To be a pattern tester, this is how you would want to go. Go to KarenWhooley.com/B-A-pattern-tester. I may eventually change that so that all the words are together so you don't have to put in those hyphens. That really bugs me, but the system does that automatically. But definitely, if you're interested in being a tester, go there. I would love to have you. Okay. Deborah says that yarn is beautiful. It really is. It really, really is. It's really pretty. So, anything else, guys? Oh, and thank you to everybody who said, fantastic news about my cancer. I'm really excited about that. That's was the main thing. Now I just have to take care of me, and my family knows it. I'm glad, Carlene, you thought it was a good interview. I have another one coming up with Allie from Savvy Skeins. She's out of Texas, and she actually is so excited to be here. She keeps sending me stuff for the interview. So be prepared for someone who's very, very excited. That's going to be on April 5th. I usually do them on the second Tuesday, but the second Tuesday in April, I'm going to be in Colorado. So I bumped it up to the first week for this month, for April. So just wanted to let you guys know that. Also, Kelly, I'm glad you got the yarn. Kelly was our winner. This was the yarn that Sadie gave away, and I'm glad she got it. So that's awesome. She was very excited to send that to you. Okay, let's see. Yeah, me too. Me too. I've been thinking about that. Okay. Self-care is so important. Yes, I need to take care of me. The funny thing is for me, part of self-care is actually crocheting. I mean, I don't mind designing and crocheting. In fact, when I was in the throes of all of my cancer treatments, I designed 18 patterns because all I could do was sit and crochet and design on paper and have my computer there. And that was all I could do. So for me, crocheting is definitely self-care. Producing a book has a lot more involved and a lot of stress because there's financial pieces to it because it's not cheap to produce a book. But, and I'm doing more video these days. So I'm definitely trying to take care of me. It's so, so important. I'm so glad you think it's a great way to start the morning too, Lisa. That means a lot to me. Deborah asks, what's going on in Colorado? I will be teaching at Interweave Yarn Fest. I'm going to bring my keyboard back over here. In Loveland, Colorado. I'm going to put it in the chat box here, the link to Interweave. Okay. I'm going to be teaching in Loveland, Colorado. I'm going to put it up on the screen too. Oops. That is where I will be. I'm leaving April 11th. I'll be back sometime in the afternoon, evening of April 17th. I'm teaching from the 12th to the 15th, but my best friend since 7th grade, we've been best friends since we were in the 7th grade, lives in Colorado. So I'm spending some time with her and her family. I haven't seen her since right before the pandemic shut everything down. She came, her oldest daughter was doing college tours when I was living on the west side of the state. She was looking at University of Washington. So she came to visit and she spent a couple days with us. So I haven't seen them since pre-pandemic. And so I'm very excited. We haven't had girls' weekend in a long time. So after I'm done teaching on the 15th, she's going to pick me up and drive me down to her house. So I'm very excited. But I'm teaching 6 classes. I'm teaching socks. I'm teaching color work, Tunisian entrelac. I'm teaching the dragon scales bracelet, which I don't have on my desk anymore. It's already being put together for everything I need to ship. I'm teaching a whole bunch of classes, but if you go here, you can still sign up. I still have room in all my classes if you're interested in going. And for those of you who don't know already, I am also teaching in August in Pennsylvania. I know a lot of my Crochet Guild of America friends and family that usually go to the CGOA chain link are going to go to that in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. It's the weekend or the week of August 1st through the 5th in Lancaster at the Marriott at the Marriott Hotel in Penn Square. So you can go if you type in this, but change Loveland. Well, actually, the Lancaster classes aren't up and available yet. So just go into Interweave Yarn Fest, and it'll have the details about Lancaster there, but you can't register quite yet. But if you're interested in going to the East Coast in August, that would be, or the East, I wouldn't call that the coast, but East. You can go to Lancaster too. And Stephanie, no, I have not heard anything. I have not heard anything. I'm still waiting for the contract. She texted us last week or emailed us last week saying there have been some personal issues that have caused her to not get the contract. So as soon as I know something, I will let you know. Honestly, I that's all I can say right now. There's nothing else I can say. Oh, Boise. Oh, awesome. What type of an event? Are you just going to get together and start crocheting? Are you going to have like vendors and classes? I'd love to know and when. So, I mean, I'd be glad to come down. If Boise's only about 5 hours from me, and I know my husband's been wanting to get down there. So, yeah. So, you're welcome, Stephanie. Okay. Anything else, guys? Okay, I'm gonna have a sip of my coffee. I feel like I'm losing my voice, but I haven't been drinking very much because I've been talking so much. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to do the drawing now. So let me put that back on the screen. If you want to enter to win, this is your last chance to win Glacier and enter to win. So just type hashtag Glacier in the comment box. And I am going to hit draw after a countdown from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and draw. My system is really slow today. I don't know why. It's doing some really weird things. Judy, I'm going to have to take you out and redraw because you automatically get it free. So I'm going to draw again really quick. If you're a member of the Crochet Crew, every brand new pattern release comes out on the second Tuesday of every month right now. And Deborah, yay, congratulations. But it comes out every Tuesday, and members of the Crochet Crew, or not every Tuesday, every second Tuesday for this year. It may change next year, but right now, every second Tuesday of the month, there's going to be a brand new release. and you get that pattern for free as part of your membership. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to put that up really quick too. The Crochet Crew, I have this is sponsored by the Crochet Crew. Oh, why is my system is really slow today, guys? I'm sorry. There we go. Okay, Deborah, congratulations. I will put that in your account on my website shortly, probably right immediately after the show. So next month, and so April and May, you will not be eligible to win the free pattern. I'm going to go back 2 months because I only give away a free pattern once a month. So I'm going to go back 2 months for everybody. So if you're watching this after the fact, you know that if you're here live and want to win something, if you've already won within the last 2 months, you are ineligible. So next month, Charlene, you'll be eligible if you're watching. Okay. So Deborah, congratulations. I'm going to put you down on my list actually before I forget, because otherwise I will forget to write it down and then I won't remember. Okay, so okay, perfect. Okay, I'm pretty much, that's it for me. So unless you guys have questions you would like to ask, I'm going to go ahead and sign off since it's almost 10 a.m. my time. Oh, yay. I'm so excited, Deborah, that you want to start it today. So congratulations. I see a lot of congratulations out here. So congratulations, Deborah. And anyway, I'm going to sign off unless you have something else. I don't know why my screen, are you guys seeing a lag in what I'm doing today? I don't know what's going on. So I will have to do some checkup on my computer too. But anyway, saw somebody else here. Well, have a great rest of your week. And have a great rest of your week. Have a great month, actually, because I won't be live again until, let's see, 1, 2, 3, the 26th of April. I'll be live on the 5th, and then I won't be live again until the 26th. So, but April 5th is about the dyer, and it won't be about what's going on in my life. So make sure you check out my live though on the 5th, and come meet Allie. You can also watch after the fact, but I believe she's going to be doing a giveaway to the live people who are watching live. So if you can attend live, make sure you do. Otherwise, I will see you next time, and have a great rest of your month. Bye now. Oh, I forgot I need to do this really quick. There we go. Bye, everybody.